I 2017 er der på WIM, den tidligere plantage på St. Croix, som i dag er et museum, en specialudstilling, som hedder Breaking the Silence. Den er lavet af nogle af de elever fra forskellige high schools på øerne, der deltager i et stort UNESCO-projekt om den transatlantiske slavehandel.
Breaking the Silence project was basically made to bring our audience on a journey from ancient Africa towards the Danish West Indies at the time. Our first panel is about the empires of Africa. That Africa is not just a place where the uncivilized live. It was the culmination of great art, great education, and great wealth. The Gold Coast was mainly where the African slaves were enslaved, actually, and they were enslaved mainly by other tribes who wanted to get things that they didn't have in their countries. Our third panel was about the journey, and it was mainly to show the public that the journey was a very strenuous task on the African Americans and how they were subjected to many diseases along the way, and once they got to their point of destination, they were shined or made to look like they were valuable. So they were cleaned off and rubbed down with oils to look healthy even when they were not. Our idea about the slave ship was to elicit a feeling of actually being in the slave ship. So we created a model of the ship, which is actually the exact height of the cargo hold. So the sounds are mainly to allow the audience to hear the chains, the rattling, and the actual sounds that would have gone on. So next we included the children's lives on the plantation. So we included some punishment, some education, some work. The children would be punished for doing, say, stealing or lying or different things. So they would also have to be subjected to different punishments, not unlike the adults. Today, we have a difficulty with our infrastructure and economics because our main export was sugar, and when that died down, there was nothing to supplement it. So now we have to try to figure out a commodity that the U.S. Virgin Islands can present to our visitors. With health, the many Africans that survived the journey had a gene that allowed them to retain salt in their body. So this would help them to live across the voyage. So now the gene is passed on to their children and their children's children, and now the problem in our community is that we have high blood pressure, and that's because of the gene that was passed along. We've had many setbacks and hindrances as a community and a culture, but I feel that regardless of that, we have been able to flourish, and we have been very resilient in our community. We always help each other out, and that's our way of life. We don't let someone else fall. We have to help them. My viewpoint of Denmark has not really changed much because I always thought that Denmark was, just a very integral part of our past, and that we always needed to learn more about it and know more about it. And I still feel that way today because there's no stopping the learning about Denmark or where we came from. So I'm just grateful that I got to learn more about Denmark, and I would like to continue learning.